Hello viewers, welcome to my channel History Hub. Today we will know about the history of United States Part 4. Spanish contact. A Spanish explorer were the first Europeans to reach the present-day United States. After Christopher and Columbus expeditions beginning in 1492 established and processions in the Caribbean and including the modern-day U.S. and territories of Puerto Rico and partly the U.S. and Virgin Island. Juan Punch de Leon and landed in Florida in 1530. Spanish expeditions and quickly reached the Appalachians and mountains, the Mississippi River, the Grand Canyon, and the Great Plains. In 1539, Hernando de Soto extensively explored the southwest, and a year later, and Francisco and Coronado explored, and from Arizona to Central and Canas in search of gold. Specific horses from and Coronado party spread over the Great Plains, and the Plains Indians and mastered horsemanship, horsemanship within a few generations. Small Spanish settlements eventually grew, became important cities, such as San Antonio, Albuquerque, and Tucson, Los Angeles, and San Francisco, and just mind Atlantic. The Dutch West India Company sent explorer Henry and Hartson the search for Northwest and Pacific to Asia in 1609. New and Netherlands was established in 1621 by the company too, and capitalists won the North American fur trade, and growth was slow at first due to the and machine misman agreement adjustment by the Dutch and Native Americans, and conflicted after the Dutch and purchased the island and mounted from the Native and Americans for the reported price of US $24. The land is named a New Amsterdam and became the capital of New Netherlands. The town rapidly expanded in the mid and 600s. It became important and trading center and sport, and despite being an Calvinist and buildings are the reformed and courts in America. The Dutch were tolerant of the other religions and culture, and the traded with the equus the north. The colony served as their very to and British expansion of New England, and as a result, a series of were fought. The colony was taken over by Britain in 1664, and its and capital was renamed New York City, New Netherlands, and left and drawing largely one American culture and its political life, and religious and tolerance, and sensibly trade in urban areas and traditionalism in the countryside, and trafficked by the story of Rip Van and Twinkle, and not notable Americans of Dutch descends in Colt and Martin, and Van Buren and Schroeder, Roos, Roosevelt and Franklin and Roosevelt, Eleanor and Roosevelt, and the Feelings Grossens and Swedish and settlement in the early years of the Swedish and empires and Swedish Dutch and German and stockholders formed by New Sweden Company to trade drugs and tobacco in North America. The company and first expedition was led by patriots and Minute, who had been governor of New Netherlands from 1626 to 1631, but the left after the dispute with the Dutch and government and landed in Delaware and by in March and 1638. The settlers and founded for the Christiania at the site of modern the William Williamine Bonton and the Delaware and made and tradition with the incolding groves, food farmland and ownership to both and side of the Delaware Shop River over the following and 17 years. 12 more expedition routes and settles from the Swedish and empires, which also included and Canterbury and Finland, Estonia and Portuguese of established 1900 permanent and settlements, along with many farms extending into modern Ajay and Maryland and Pennsylvania and New Jersey. It was incorporated into New Netherlands in 1655 after the Dutch invasion from the Navy-boarding in New Netherlands colony during to the Second North War. Francis and Spanish and Governor and the Barcelona landed in the North Carolina in 1524 and was the first Europeans and to sail into the New York Harbor and Narragansett Bay. A decade later, and Jacques Curtis sailed in such air of the northwest and Pacific, but instead and discovered the St. Lawrence River and laid to the foundation for France's and colonization of their Americans in New France. After the collapse of Fast and Quebec colony in the 1514, and France's Henneguest settled at the Fort Colonies and near are presented the Jacksonville in Florida in 1565, and Spanish force led by Pedro and managed and destroyed by the settlement and established the first Europeans settlement in what would become to the United States and Augustine. After this, the France and mostly remained in Quebec and Acadia, but far and richer in trade and relationships with the Native Americans and throughout the Great Lakes and Midwest and spread their influence. And France's colonists in small and villages along the Mississippi and Illinois and rivers and lived in farmings and communities that served as a grain and source for Gulf and coast and settlements. The Frances established and plantations in Louisiana along the sailing New and Orleans and Mobile and Black Sea. Thank you for watching my videos. Please like, share and subscribe my channel for upcoming videos. Goodbye.